National Football League brings us to USAA Stadium. USAA, an official salute to service partner of Madden and the NFL. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And they can't bring him down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air right away is May. Now he's going to step up and run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Possibly a good spot here to take a shot as they come out with 3 receivers to the left on second and less than a yard. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 31 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. To the air, May. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And they'll run for the first time. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs. First time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 20-yard line.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
To throw, it's May. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go to the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Second and 10. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down. But I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Chargers 7, Chiefs nothing. Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Yellow.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll run with Ingram. And the defense closes quickly there. They'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Mahomes going to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. So the 3-time Pro Bowler Javon Curse with a tackle there.
And you get selected for that game because you're a consistently dominant performer. And that's what he is. We always think about him being a pass rusher, but he can play the run as well. A guy that you just have to game plan for every week.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
Kansas City Chiefs.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Hey, Ripley. Attack!
They give to Ingram up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the Chargers' 44-yard line.
Yellow. Hey, we're going to do something.
Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Let's go, Louie!
Mahomes now to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score. Chargers 14, Chiefs nothing. Cameron Dicker to
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Now the play clock hits 0 here, and we're going to get a delay. Penalty accepted, and that pushes him back 5. Mahomes and the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
43! Yellow! Right!
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. And a failure on 4th down on the other side leads immediately to a 1st and goal. They'll throw with May. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. May. Man, and he hits him in stride. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And this caught left side by the tight end Parham. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the gun, it's a run for England. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now here's Mahomes. That's caught. Hits Xavier Worthy. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
That's into the hands of Worthy. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Now a 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. They go play fake. Mahomes. His throw complete right side to the tight end Parham. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
How about this? They'll change it at the line. They throw it out right complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up, because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Donald Parrell, 28 yards. And the Chiefs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Chargers 14, Chiefs 7. Adam Vinatieri sets
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing here is May. That's swung out wide to Harris. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here now, 3rd and a yard. Here's May. He's got his target. That's complete. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Chiefs.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Third and 2. From the gun, it's May. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Back to throw again. May looking to run. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And that's pretty good coverage by the kick team, as he'll only be able to get this past the 15-yard line and no further. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver or that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Mahomes. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. That'll go for a gain of 7. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing now is Mahomes. On the check down, it's Ingram. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On now is Vinatieri as he'll try the field goal. Vinatieri's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Charger drive about to get going. A first carry for Najee Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Harris running straight ahead. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's 2nd and 7. To the air, May. This will be caught at about the 5. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Harris going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. From the shotgun, it's May. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Steve Smith, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. Now Brown, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
To throw, it's May. Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down, L.A. He'll look to throw. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of it.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Donald Parham from 17 yards out. And the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Mahomes going to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Yellow. Attack, attack. 15.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Hey, 43. 15.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Mahomes now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So that flag will set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Fight on these two. Yellow. 50, yellow.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll try and do this himself. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Hey, what's up?
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Crazy. Hey, what's that?
They'll throw with May. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
Here goes tonight. Hey, what's that?
From the shotgun, May with it. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Javon Curse in there to bury him for a loss of 11. It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Looking to throw, May. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit, and time faded. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. A gang of Charger defenders there for the tackle. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's first and 10 at the 16-yard line. On the ground, this is Smith. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, 43. Yellow.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. So the completion gets him just a yard. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is third and 10.
Attack! 15.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Chiefs tried it, but they're turned away on fourth down. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Touchdown, Chargers. Donald Parham, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Chargers have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 32.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Hey, taller. Hey, 43.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Yellow. 180. Hey, 57. Fight on these two.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He'll try to do it himself. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Here goes to that. You ready to speed?
That one looks like he'll throw here. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Chiefs 10. Cameron Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling again.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Chiefs come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it from here for Charles Davis and the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com/Madden. So long, everybody.